So I'm going to be showing you this type of shading method that I learned a few years back on DeviantArt. I made a post about this earlier, but I know some people, such as myself, learn better when you're kind of shown how to do it instead of just a text post. I'm not exactly sure if you can even refer to this as a kind of shading method because it's kind of the opposite, as in you're going to be giving it highlights instead of shading. I'll show you what I mean. So I have this quick sketch of Link just chilling in a forest or woods or whatever. And his whole body is just in one layer. I have everything from the coloring to the line art on one layer. I did some shading, not really a lot, didn't spend too much time on it. So what you're gonna do is duplicate that layer. So now I have two links. Then you're gonna protect right here the second duplicate or whatever of your picture, and this is where you kind of play around with color. So I'm just going to go with green for now. I'm just going to fill that whole thing in so he turns out to be like a green silhouette of himself. There we go. And then you start playing around with the layer options. So multiply, you see how he's just kind of this really dark tint green. Play with the opacity a lot. So it's like as if he's under a lot of trees right now, right? His whole body is just shaded. Let me see what he'll look like in blue. Ah, that looks pretty cool. I don't know if that fits with the setting that he's in, but that's why you really have to play around with the colors. Try lots of colors, try lots of layer options, try lots of opacity options. I guess I'll go with blue. I like how blue looks right now. So after you pick your color, you're going to use the eraser tool. Let me unprotect this. And you're going to erase parts that you think, you're going to erase parts that you think won't be shaded. So this is kind of why I say it's like the opposite of shading, as in you're picking the parts that light is going to show on. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I have to show you other things, but I'm just going to pretend that there's like some light coming in on this side of him. I'm going to do it really messy. I know the shading right now doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm sure if I spent more time on it, it would look way better. But that's why you guys get to try it at home, so you can figure out what looks best on your picture and your setting. So this is what I'm going to go with for right now. If I showed you the layer on normal and the opacity to 100%, this is the color that I ended up choosing. So there we go. So I have a couple of other backgrounds that I made to show the importance of colors and trying out different colors, whatever. This is the exact same background as the last one, except I played with the colors to make it look like it's a different time of day. I like to think it's sunset, but I don't think it could be sunrise, right? Sunrise is more pinkish. I don't know. Anyways, so we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. Duplicate the layer, protect it, and then choose a color. I'm going to choose pink, even though never mind. So I'm choosing pink. I'm going to set it to, let's see, try all these different layers. That looks pretty nice, but I don't know if I would choose that. You really just have to play around with the layers. So I kind of like how the pink looks. So we're going to do the same thing that we did last time, which was just erase parts that you think would have lighting or whatever. Lighting on them, lighting. Just going to do the same thing as last time. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So there's how that looks. Let me play around a little more. Might want to, excuse me. I think I kind of want to make it darker, like that. If you ever take out more than you wanted to, you can just make sure to keep the color saved up here and then just fill that back in. Oops, there we go. Let me just fill that back in right there. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to keep it like that. Merge all the layers and let's see the difference between them. Look at that. There's a pretty big difference, and I really like it. That looks really cool. Okay, so the final background I'm going to show you is going to be a little different. I'll show you how. So this is obviously supposed to be some kind of dungeon setting. I'm sure you could tell with those like bars in the back. There's people in there or something. Anyways, so the same thing as usual. Clipping and actually I usually put protect, right? So let's go with protect just to keep it consistent. I'm gonna go with purple because that seems to be the theme. Put this, there we go. I'm gonna put it, that looks really cool, but I don't feel like it fits, so I'm just gonna go with multiply like I have been doing before. It's a really dark setting, so I'm gonna do it darker than the rest. Okay, the same. I know I've been doing the highlights on the same area for the past whatever backgrounds, but I just don't have time to think about new shading or whatever, right? New highlighting. So the same as before. Put this here. Like he's walking into a better lit room or whatever, okay? I took off more than I wanted, so I'm just gonna, there we go. So in the last couple of backgrounds, I would have just done this, right? I did this and then I was finished. But to me, the highlights look way too bright. He's still, even though he's coming into a much lighter room, he's still kind of in a dungeon, and so this feels way off. So if you have something that looks like this, that it just doesn't look right, you can go back to the original drawing and change the colors to there. So I'm gonna make him a bit darker. Let's see. Let's go even darker. Let's see, maybe less saturation. Let's see how that looks. So I could either go with this, or I could kind of repeat the step that I did for the last one, right? So duplicate it again, color the whole thing purple. That looks pretty. That looks kind of funny. Multiply, but I'm gonna do it much lighter this time. Let's see. So let's say I want this to be kind of like the default colors, merge that, and then there we go. That looks better than it did before because it's not as bright. I'm gonna make that a little lighter. So this is how I'm choosing to finish the picture. Notice how the highlights here are much darker than the highlights in the past two pictures. Since he's in a dungeon, I chose to alter his original colors to be much darker so it fits more into the background. So let's compare the three pictures just to show you how they end up looking with all the different colors. So here's the dungeon, here's the sunset, and here's just the kind of default, the midday life is good kind of picture. Not that life isn't good in a dungeon, because I'm sure he's having a lot of fun in there. He's obviously super happy. He loves being in there. Ah, he's so relatable. Alright, that's the end of this video. Hopefully it kind of taught you, I don't know, this is supposed to be like a highlighting, shading kind of video, but I think it ended up being more about colors. But you guys asked about that too, so maybe it helped a little bit in both ways. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it convinces you. Actually, this had nothing to do with Fire Alpaca. It just kind of taught you about colors. Okay, whatever. Hopefully this showed you a little bit more about Fire Alpaca, but you can use this for like any art program. Okay, so anyways, I'm finished. I'm done. I'm gonna make more videos about like animation and comic pages and whatever. Thank you for watching. Okay, cool. Bye!